Okay, earlier I did a video today over at this MGTOW monk guy who's been giving Steve a hard time. Now, I don't know the guy personally, and I don't personally dislike the guy or hate the guy. That's just not possible to dislike or hate somebody that you don't know. Okay, so personally I have nothing against the guy. Okay, but I did call out the BS that I heard in this video. Okay. And it does fire me up a bit when I keep hearing people referring to TFLers as guys that are just whining and crying because they can't get laid. Okay, this is manipulation. This is lies. That's been pushed since day one. TFL, when it first came out, it was explained very clearly to people. It was not about sex. It was not about guys wanting sex. They can't get sex. That was complete hogwash from day one. Even the guy that can't get a girl in his life can go out and get sex through a prostitute, through an escort service. They can go to Vegas and go outside of Vegas and pick up a piece of ass. So it's never been about sex. TFL has never been about sex from day one. But you got lots of guys out there that like to take things and manipulate and twist the words to their own advantage, to use it. Okay, and unfortunately, this has been going on for as long as TFL's been here. And so it don't surprise me that this guy would come up here and not know anything. It's just like he had left a comment, oh, well, you're anti-MGTOW and hope you don't want lots of subs. Okay. The guy don't know the first thing about me. He don't know the first thing about the history of TFL or the channels that I've lost. Okay, it's never been about that, ever, ever. Artificial fame, B10 fame online. So this guy's after subs, huh? So he wants B10 fame. Okay, but my main point is the fact that the majority of society is sound asleep to what's really taking place in our world. They've been lied to in their school system as they grew up. They've been lied to by their television set. They've been lied to in the books and magazines they read. They've been lied to all the way straight across the board. Understanding what's happened in history and understanding what now is going on now goes hand in hand together. It's no accident that we have these problems, but when it comes to the men's arena and the women's arena, I even hate to call it arena, but everybody's turned everything into a sport, a game, a competition. An arena, yeah. So when it comes to what's going on in today's society for MGTOW, men going their own way, and then you want to say MGTOW monk, okay, you want to add another name to it. And I got a commenter who says that, well, MGTOW monk means a guy that's not masturbating and not looking at porn and blah, blah, blah. That's going his own way. That's his prerogative to do that, okay? I got nothing against that. But TFL has never been about sex. My issues are simple. We have an internet filled full of people who are sound asleep that's never looked into a damn thing, that doesn't understand where this problem come from, where they don't even know where MGTOW come from. They can give a name, Barbarossa, and he was MRA, men's right activist. That's all the further they can go with it. They don't know why the problems are happening in society. They don't know why there's a men's movement, why there was a feminist movement, why women are acting the way they're acting and doing what they're doing, and why men are acting the way they are. You have to look for the cause of problems to correct problems. If a mechanic in a garage that was working on your car didn't look for the root cause to the problem of your car, he would not be fixing your car. If an electrician comes to your home to fix an electrical issue and does not look for the cause, he will not fix your problem. And this goes straight across the board into everything, including this. And this was what I was trying to get across to people. And you know, for the likes of me, how are you going to be so ashamed of a name? Yeah, of a name. On my hat, TFL. Yeah. How are you going to be so ashamed of a name that you had no say-so in, that's nothing to do with you, that's not your fault, that's out of your control, because you never looked for the root cause. You never looked at what was really going on. I think I said it pretty plain and clear in that video that you have to go back in time and study your history. And you have to move back in time to the Leave It to Beaver days and pay attention to the family unit. Pay attention to what dates was, what people did and what they're not doing now. The differences between their era and our era. In their era, they had strong family units. In their era, people, when they had friends that couldn't get a date in their life, set their friends up with blind dates. In their era, it wasn't all about getting laid. Sex was the last on the list when it came to dating, right where it belonged. In today's era, sex is first on the list, number one, right where it don't belong. This is what the entire point of that video was about. Now, the fact that the man mentioned that he's had a few women hitting on him in his life, I had no issue with that. It was the fact he said they were all exes. That destroyed his whole message. That showed the guy don't know what he's talking about and that he's BSing. When he added exes to it, he only did one thing. He proved without a shadow of a doubt he was spilling bullshit. He was lying. He was not being honest. Now, whether he's mad because he's been caught out on a lie, that's not my issue. That's his. Maybe he should have thought before he lied. That's really where that comes from. Maybe he should have given some hard thought to it before he lied and made that statement. Is it possible an ex-girlfriend would come back and want to hook back up with him? Yes, it is. But that's only if they were together time enough and she actually had feelings for the guy. But he clearly did not say that. He clearly said he's been hit on a few times, and he turned them down, but these few times were by exes. So basically what he's saying, he's been hit on a few times in his life by exes who he rejected. And that gave him power. No. That's an illusion, that's a mirage that's going along with the social conditioning machine. He's not speaking truth. All you got to do is pay attention. That was my issue. At least I can say Steve Hoka tells truth. You may not agree with everything he says, but you know what? I don't care. Because nobody agrees with nobody 100% across the board. It's not possible, never will happen. It's the way life is. But the one thing that is for sure is that social engineering, from what you people won't look into to find the root cause of this problem, is directly linked to NWO. Whether you want to believe it or not. Recently we had a holiday, I like to call it the Bushwhacker Day, on December 1st of 2018, a very evil man passed away. A blessing to the world. George Herbert Walker Bush. And you know already, it's all out there in your face, that this man talked about a new world order. But you turn your head and look the other way when the man told you the truth. When the man didn't lie to you. You don't understand the first thing about what that is. What they're doing. And everything that's going on in society is all directly linked to it. This is where this problem came from. It's all been socially engineered. So something happens before you're born that leads down the line to where they're using different tools in social engineering and brainwashing to control the masses, to destroy the family unit, to destroy the genders. You're born into this world, you grow up in this world, and you have these issues because these issues have been passed down to us by these people. Deliberately. They created this problem for us. So you find yourself a man going your own way. Or you find yourself a TFL. That's right. A men's rights activist that's been hijacked by women. These women that are running MRA are not here to help you. Once again, we pulled the blanket over your eyes. You just can't see that, can you? You just don't understand that, do you? Because you don't know the agenda of what's really going on because you never studied anything. Maybe if you take the time out of your busy schedule of fluffing stuff and start looking into this stuff and opening your eyes up and looking around you, you would start recognizing it. There's a reason all the years that MRA's been here that they were here. Just like when you people want to say there's no such thing as TFL. Well, then there's obviously no such thing as PUA, the pickup artist industry. Even though you can buy their stuff and you watch them talk about it on mainstream media. That's because there is. And for them to sell their stuff, their books, their seminars, then I guess TFL must be quite real. Because if there wasn't an issue, they couldn't sell it. There'd be no buyers. But that's been said 100,000 times already. You know, so I really don't care because it wasn't about offending this guy. I'm sure I offended him with truth. I'm sure he didn't see this coming, right? You know, his little comment about I got too much Hoka Kool-Aid. No, you're sound asleep. You're like so many people. You're spilling the propaganda out your mouth that's been put into your head by your lying, twisted, sick society you're living in. Thanks to people like George Herbert Walker Bush. This is a whole lot deeper than most of you people even know. The difference between me and you is I've done my homework. And I understand and know where this is coming from and why this is happening to us. Well, you clearly don't because you haven't done no homework. You just believe whatever's fed to you because that's the easiest thing for you to do. It's a lot easier than using a brain cell, isn't it? And to be embarrassed about a name that you had nothing to do with, that there's no way you could have prevented it from happening to you because it was through social engineering, the brainwashing of our society, and programming people, because yes, human beings are programmable just like computers. It's no accident. It's through that this is taking place. And until you can take the time out of your busy non-lives of fluff and stuff, because you sure had time to be right here on this video, didn't you? To the guy that I made it. Didn't take you long to hit that. So, do you even have a job? Or is your time busy sitting in front of the computer? I don't know. But I'll tell you what. You haven't done no homework. That stood out. That was like a big neon sign. Flashing. You stood out that bad. It screams it. That you absolutely have looked into nothing. Nothing. But you're spilling your mouth. Mankind's biggest problem is people's mouths. Their inability to look into things, but opening their mouth. Spilling garbage out their mouth, not knowing what they're talking about. And then they tell on themselves through their own ignorance and don't even know they are. But to be embarrassed about a name, to a problem that was socially engineered before you was born, and you was born into a world that's as corrupt and sick as this one is at this time, to where it affects your personal life, because TFL, men going their own way, are very, very personal issues. It's not an accident that there's so many people speaking up about TFL. It's not an accident that you have so many men that were involved in men's rights activists, MRA. It's not an accident that you have, thanks to Barbarossa, from men going our own way, you know, for the men's rights activists, Barbarossa, that you so-called MGTOWers have MGTOW. But also this is a name. And I don't care if you give yourself another name and call yourself a monk. Say it as it is. You're a man going your own way. And if you want to practice not looking at porn and not masturbating, that's fine. But you don't have to rise yourself up and think you're better or above somebody else because you've added a name to MGTOW and said that you're this type of MGTOW and that makes me better. Because everybody's on this damn freaking game sport arena to try to outdo somebody else, giving the same name, different names, and escalating it and making it confusing for everybody else and walking through life thinking they're above somebody when they're not. And when you're uneducated, see, you want to talk about your school system educated you. No, they didn't. They taught you only what they were told to taught you and nothing more, nothing less. You will know nothing but what they told you. They lied to you about your history. They taught you only what they felt you needed to know and left the rest of the world away from you. That you're going to have to learn through living your life. And that's only if you're willing to open your eyes and pay attention to what's going on around you. And stop making assumptions. You know, I understand this guy got mad at Steve Hoker for saying he's TFL. That the majority of MGTOW is TFL is in denial. I'm sorry that the truth hurt you. That's not my fault the truth is hurting you. But it is the truth. And it's not my fault that the name is offending you. Because it's reminding you of your life. You know, I looked at like Steve's live cast. If he comes up and does a live stream, within a minute of his live stream, you got 10, 15, 20 people in there. The minute he goes live. And then you have all these haters coming in there, hating on him. But you don't miss a show, do you? and you're not smart enough to figure out by you doing that, not missing the show, it tells great deals of stories about you. It stands out like a neon sign once again that you are definitely a TFLer, or you wouldn't be there. And on top of that, you're going to deny it because you're embarrassed, because you're scared of the name. So you was beat up by a name, huh? So you had your ass handed to you by a name, huh? Is that what it comes down to? Had your butt kicked by a name? And you've been running from that name ever since? When the name matches exactly what's going on. This has nothing to do with you. You didn't create the problem. You didn't want the problem. You didn't ask for the problem. So instead of standing by the people that like-minded and like you, that grew up in the same world you did, with the problem that was passed down to us, instead of standing by them, you're attacking them, huh? See, as I said earlier, if you're a man going your own way because you see how people are treating each other, and that is your reasoning, I stand with you. If you've been married in the family court system and the corrupt system that's been here by design, no accident, NWO, has cleaned you out, took in your home, took in your children, took your belongings, and taken your money, and you're pissed off, I don't blame you. And if you're going your own way away from women, I don't blame you. I stand with you. But for you TFLers, no. See, you've never had the female in your life because you've been busy being rejected, which is none of your fault. For the majority of you, it's not your fault. You didn't ask for it, you didn't want the life you're living, and you hate it like passion, and I don't blame you. You want out of it so bad, but at the same time, you're cowards. Because you're so afraid of being ridiculed and called names by people that are living in the same society as you, that are filling your head full of shit, because we are living in a world where everybody thinks it's okay to lie. And nobody wants truth. But then you're all out there screaming, you better not lie to me. I want to know the truth. And then when they tell you the truth, you don't want the truth. You attack them. Isn't that what you're doing? You're dang right, that's what you're doing. So I offended this guy. I don't care. I wasn't trying to offend him. I was trying to wake his ass up and call him out on his BS. You cannot honestly call Steve out for assuming for you when you're going to do the same thing back to Steve. No lie. You're doing the same thing yourself. Which now you've dropped yourself to that level that you're accusing he is. Why, you're going to sink to that level yourself, huh? But you know what you did do also? You proved Steve to be right. So I will say congratulations for outsmarting yourself. You proved one thing for sure. Steve was right all along. You're a MGTOW, all right. No, you're not. You're a TFLer in denial. Flying with a MGTOW monk name. Whether you're not masturbating or looking at porn is none of my business, and I can care less if you are or if you are not. But the one thing is for certain, you're scared of a name. You have had your ass handed to you by a name. That's pretty sad. And you're not willing to look into anything. And this is the problem I have with the majority of you people out there. You're not willing to look. You're too damn lazy to look. So I think maybe the next time you take your car to a shop or you have an electrical problem, the person that comes out to repair it for you should act just like you. This way your car will stay broken down and your electric will still not be working. Because after all, there's no point of looking for the root cause, right? Why would we want to take our time out to look for the root cause? Maybe Steve could come and fix your furnace for you and you don't have to look for the root cause. That way your furnace can stay broke. Maybe he should come and fix your air conditioner in the summertime for you. But don't worry, he's going to act like you. He's not going to look for the root cause, so therefore it'll stay broke. Of course, you wouldn't like that, would you? To give him money for coming out there and then it's not fixed. You'd be mad about that, wouldn't you? But that's what you're doing right here, right now, online. You're coming after people that are trying to help you and you're attacking them. You're not looking into anything, but you're going to claim you have. But actions speak louder than words. Your actions prove you haven't. Just like this guy's slip of the tongue proved without a reasonable doubt. This guy's alone. This guy's probably TFL. He doesn't have X's hitting on him. That was just to build himself up in your eyes. That's all it was. Because once again, he's scared of being ridiculed and called names by other people. They shouldn't even be ridiculed and you call them names. It's called grow up and get tough skin. And recognize names can't hurt you. And blow them off. So it's like right now, see, I blow what you say off because you're not credible. You prove that with your own mouth and your own video. So why would I listen to anything that's coming out your mouth right now? When you become credible, then I'll listen. But at this time, you're not. You're just not credible. What can I say? See, we shouldn't have to have a men's rights movement. We shouldn't have to have men going their own way or TFL, but we do. And you should be able to open your eyes and recognize all the male bashing going on. And the creating the epidemic. I've told people before, social engineering is programming. Women was programmed one direction and men was programmed the opposite. And it was deliberately done to cause conflict. To divide and conquer, to destroy the family unit. And they've been very successful with it. Just like the dumbing down of America. Very, very successful. These people at the top that are running are very smart people. And they have been very, very successful with the strategies and the knowledge they have using it against us. So we have an epidemic that's going on that was not the fault of the people, with the exception of the fact that we didn't go after these people and lock them up and take them out of position. That would be the people's fault. But it's not your fault that you grew up and couldn't get a female in your life. You done everything that everybody ever told you to do. And you still have this problem. And the minute you talk about it, you're called names, ridiculed, cut down, made fun of, told it's your own fault. You know the spiel. And that's what makes you afraid of this name. But see, they will attack you to shut you up. Because they don't want you acknowledging this name, because they don't want you looking for the cause. And the only way you can ever understand what's going on is to look for the cause. And when I said you need to take a trip back in history, you really, truly do. You need to understand, why did family units work out back in the Leave It to Beaver days? Why did people set other people up with blind dates? What were they doing different then that we're not doing now to make it work out for them? How come it's not working out for you? You should at least be curious enough to want to know why this is going on. But most of you, I think, are once again too scared of the answer to why. But it's for real. So names are just what they are. TFL is a name to a problem in society that existed thanks to social conditioning and NWO. MGTOW is a name in society to a problem that was created by who? Yeah, same thing I just said for TFL. Men's right activists, PUA, was problem, reaction, solution. But the solution is always phony. The problem was created by the people at the top, socially engineered. The cure was never to be given, but the phony baloney solution was to be given for problem, reaction, solution. And the reaction is like what you're seeing now. People not understanding what's going on but attacking other people and playing like they're so smart and they know this and they know that and they know this and they know that when they haven't studied a damn thing. It's pathetic. I've spent years doing this, studying this, researching this. Not days, not weeks, not months, years. And I fully know what I'm talking about when it comes to this topic. I know right where it comes from. I see the thoughts, I see what we're doing, and I understand why so many men are alone and can't get somebody. And this name is not to be shamed, to be ashamed about. You should be angry, not shamed. And not angry at me, but angry at the people who've done this to us. That's where your anger needs to be. Not at each other, but at the people who've done this to us. And you're not going to know that unless you do your homework. And I'm not going to do it for you. I spent years doing this, and I know full well what I'm talking about, and the information's out there, and you can find it. And it's so in your face. But to this MGTOW monk guy, okay, so you're claiming you don't masturbate and you don't watch porn, if that's what you're saying monk means. That's fine. That don't change the fact that men going their own way is still the same damn thing. You're sitting there trying to make yourself on a higher class than somebody else. And as far as I'm concerned, you haven't proved a thing. Your face ain't on video. And how are you going to prove that you're not looking at porn or masturbating? Give me a break. Are we just supposed to take your word for it in a world filled full of liars? At least everything I say, I'm going to tell you right now, go do your homework and you'll find out I didn't lie to you. I don't get up here and make up BS. I'm not up here to lie to you. Never have been and never will be. Everything I said you can research and find for yourself. I didn't lie to you. And if you can't see it, it's destroyed what's going on around you, what is somebody going to do for you when you're not willing to help yourself? Nothing. You got to first be willing to help yourself. So my suggestion is get off of Steve Holka's back. Quit whining about what he's talking about because it offends you. Because at least Steve Holka does tell truth. And he's not ashamed to say he hasn't had a date in 5 years. He understands where the issue came from. He knows it was social engineering. He understands it's not his fault. And that's what you all need to understand, instead of being ashamed of the name. Then you need to do your homework so you can figure out where it come from. And do a little bit of looking back in history. As history is replaying itself again, then maybe you'll get a better understanding of what's really going on. Believe it or not, the women are just as big of victims as men are when it comes to NWO. They've helped destroy their own selves and don't even know it. They've helped create destruction of the family unit. And you not so strong men who want to claim you're strong, whether you're MGTOW, monk, doesn't matter what name you want to give it. It's the same damn thing from the same dang problem that was passed down to us. And you're busy steering it and going along with it and creating more division. It's sad. But it is pretty funny in a way that you've all had your ass handed to you by a name. Seriously, if you don't like the idea that you've had your butt kicked by a name, what can I say? Because you have. And for you MGTOWers, I agree with Steve. The majority of you are. TFLers in denial. You're in denial because you're scared of a name. That's all it is. It's nothing to be embarrassed about. You didn't ask for the issue situation you're in. You didn't ask for the life you've been handed. You didn't tell women to do these things to you. But I know you've got to turn your back and look the other way and hope that by doing so someday she'll give you the time of day to make lots of drama with you. Yep. That's what you got to do, right? And after she makes enough drama with you, you'll still be miserable. And you'll still be alone. I don't know what to tell you. Other than, I didn't come up here to offend the guy. I knew he'd probably get pissed. But I figured if nothing else, if he's got half a brain in his head, he's going to go start looking into a little bit of the stuff I'm talking about. But I don't see him doing that neither, because I think he's just plainly too damn lazy. I think he's just going to continue to attack and attack and attack to think he can make me just go away. That's about what it is. I'm not going away. I haven't all these years, and I don't plan on doing it now either. So no, I'm not going nowhere. Maybe when I pass away, then I'll go somewhere. But until then, I'm here. And I'm not here to attack you. I'm here to try to open your damn eyes and get you to see the reality. I legitimately only know one TFLer that I consider successful at understanding what's going on, who is still a TFLer, but at least he understands what's really going on. Okay? And that's Kevin. I think you could all take lessons from Kevin, because Kevin understands. It's not an easy life, but you didn't ask for it. I didn't ask for it. Nobody did. He goes, well, but you don't live it. You have a wife. Yeah, but I have lived it. That's how come I know about it. And I've done my research. That's how come I know about it. Because I have lived it. And I've done my homework. Which is the one thing that the majority of you fail at doing. Is looking into it. So with that being said, I'm going to get out of here. But that's what I wanted to say, touch this up with it. Just get used to it because it's not going nowhere. And Steve Hoka, I'm going to say it just as it is. He may have swayed over the years, he may have taken his videos down or made mistakes, which human beings do, but at least the man was honest. Which is more than I can say for the majority of the people I see out here. Steve is honest. Steve is a human being, just like you or me. Steve means well. Okay, he really actually does mean well. He's not here trying to hurt you. And as far as what he's saying, no, I agree with him on a lot because he does tell you the truth. He don't lie to you. He don't bullshit you. He don't try to steer you a different direction. When he asks for donations, he asks you right in your face, you don't have to donate if you don't want. And you can donate if you want. I'm not going to tell you which way to go because I've done everything from my heart, and I always will. I don't care about money. I really don't. I'm not here about money. I don't want your money. I just want you to pay attention to what I'm saying and go look for yourself. That's all. Go look for yourself. But unfortunately, I probably already asked you too much just to do that, didn't I? With that, I'm out of here.